Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News and Indian Perspective on All India Radio. This is Prashant Kumar Sinha bringing glimpses of major developments of the day from across the globe. United Nations turns 75. Secretary General Antonio Guterres reminds the world of its enduring values. UN Resident Coordinator says India deserves its rightful place at the UN Security Council. Pakistan Senate questions legal status of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. WHO urges caution before approving remdesivir for COVID treatment. In football, Real Madrid beat Barcelona 3-1 in El Clasico at Camp Nou in Barcelona. The United Nations UN Day is being observed today. It was on the 24th of October in 1945 that the UN officially came into existence. It is currently made up of 193 member states. On this occasion, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres reminded the world of the enduring values of the organization. He appealed to the member nations to work in the spirit of solidarity and cooperation as embodied in the UN Charter to overcome challenges.
We face colossal challenges. With global solidarity and cooperation, we can overcome them. That's what United Nations is all about. On this anniversary, I ask people everywhere to join together. United Nations not only stands with you, United Nations belongs to you and is you with the peoples. Together, let us uphold the enduring values of United Nations Charter. Let us build on our advances across the decades. Let us realize our shared vision of a better world for all.
On the eve of the UN Day, Mr. Guterres had appealed for a global ceasefire so that our collective energies could be devoted to fighting the COVID pandemic. In a tweet, he said, "Let us act together to defeat the pandemic, prevent climate catastrophe, uphold the equality of women and men, and pave the way for a better world." In an exclusive interview with All India Radio, the UN Resident Coordinator in India, Ms. Renata Dessalian, underlined the importance of the UN in today's world. She said the achievements speak for the organization.
The UN established basically fundamentally to prevent a third world war. We can say in the 75 years since the establishment of the UN, interstate conflicts have declined and there's been no third world war since the UN was established. So that's not a small accomplishment. We now have a very, very solid set of international standards for global conduct. Third is decolonization. It was the UN that pushed for and oversaw the decolonization of many parts of the world, liberating scores of countries from colonial domination.
Ms. Dessalian commended the pivotal role played by India during the formative phase of the UN and the support that India provides to the organization. She said India deserves its rightful place at the UN Security Council.
India's leadership has been absolutely critical to the UN during its 75 years. Many of the basic values of the UN were actually shaped by India. Let's not forget that it was Hansa Mehta that ensured that Article 1 of the Universal Declaration reads today, all human beings are created equal instead of all men are created equal. And ever since the beginning, India has played a defining role in the UN and with the UN.
India's two-year term as non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, UNSC, will begin on the 1st of January 2021. Our correspondent has filed this report.
This will be the 8th time that India will be serving on the UN Security Council. India's work in the UNSC will be guided by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's call for a reformed multilateralism and the dynamic 5S vision of Samman, Samvad, Sahyog, Shanti and Samriddhi. Through this approach, India seeks to move towards a new orientation for a reformed multilateral system. As a founding member of United Nations, India is fully committed to the principles and purposes of the UN Charter. With Anand Kumar, Suparna Segya for World News.
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has highlighted the role of the United Nations in promoting the spirit of multilateralism. In a tweet, Dr. Jaishankar said that as the UN marks its 75th anniversary, reformed multilateralism has become an essential imperative. He reaffirmed India's commitment to uphold the interests of the developing world and to strengthen the global consensus on key contemporary challenges in its capacity as a non-permanent member of the UNSC from January 2021. Earlier, on the eve of the 75th founding day, Dr. Jaishankar had released a commemorative stamp for the UN on Friday. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. The Senate of Pakistan questioned the legality of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor CPEC on Friday. PPP leader Senator Raza Rabbani, speaking on a call attention notice, reportedly asked as to which provision of the law allows the CPEC authority to continue to operate. The CPEC authority ordinance was promulgated last year and was extended by the National Assembly in January 2020. However, its life ended in June. The CPEC projects in Pakistan have been mired with controversies and facing stiff resistance from Baluchistan, Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and the Hunza Valley. Today is World Polio Day. On the occasion, WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus noted the progress made by the global community in fighting polio and urged for continued commitment to end the disease. In a tweet, Dr. Ghebreyesus thanked the leadership of countless polio champions, from government officials to community leaders. He also remarked upon how the polio program's resources and expertise have played a critical role in fighting other diseases, including COVID-19 currently. Now let's take a look at the coronavirus updates. According to WHO data, the number of infected cases has crossed 42.05 million worldwide. Polish officials announced that President Andrzej Duda has tested positive for coronavirus on Saturday. German Chancellor Angela Merkel on Saturday reinforced a message to Germans to curb social contacts and to keep travel to a minimum as coronavirus infections continued to rise. In India, the COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 89.78%. The Indian Health Ministry has stated that during the past 24 hours, more than 67,000 have recovered. The WHO on Friday cautioned the countries reviewing remdesivir against COVID-19 to consider all evidence, including a trial in which the medicine failed, before giving it the green light. In a news conference, WHO informed that U.S. regulators appeared not to have done so. The U.S. FDA had approved the drug remdesivir for treating patients hospitalized with COVID-19 earlier this week. U.S. President Donald Trump today announced that Sudan and Israel have agreed to normalize ties. According to the White House Deputy Press Secretary Jude Deer, it will be the first time the two countries have had diplomatic relations. The announcement comes as Sudan seeks to improve its relationship with the United States. President Trump had earlier subjected Sudan, along with 6 other countries, to a travel ban shortly after he assumed office in 2017. The U.S. State Department on Friday said that it is more important now than ever to work with like-minded partners such as India. It is significant in the wake of China's increasingly aggressive behavior across the Indo-Pacific, from the Himalayas to the South China Sea. The State Department spokesman was briefing media ahead of the 2+2 dialogue scheduled to be held on the 27th of October in New Delhi. He added that the Quad grouping, comprising the United States of America, Japan, Australia and India, are getting together to cooperate over various issues. News from the world of sports now. In football, Real Madrid beat Barcelona 3-1 in El Clasico at Camp Nou in Barcelona. Tokyo Governor Yuriko Koike has inaugurated the Aquatic Center for next year's rescheduled Olympics on Saturday. India is celebrating the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let's listen to Vaishnava Jan by artists from across the world. And with that, we end this bulletin. See you at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.